Hickok 45 here with a space age looking 22 rimfire, the Ruger Mark IV. Yeah, a brand new gun. I don't think they've made any of these until the last month. What do you think? They've made millions of these, except they're a little different, and there's been an evolution right up through the Mark IV, which is much easier to break down and put back together, as we all know. We have shown you here at the compound a Mark IV before, but not this one. This one is I think a relatively newer model, the Ruger Mark IV Lite. And if you look at it closely, you might figure out why it's called the Lite. Yeah, I didn't drill all those holes, all those openings. Ruger did that, and they called it the Lite, and it is pretty light. Let's shoot it. You want to? Yeah, it's a nice little pistol, I think. I think they'll be pretty successful. I'm not used to a safety. Woo! Yeah, boy. Let's just reach on out and play at the gong. I heard it. I heard it. Let's play right here. Yeah, 10 shots is all you get. But these are fun little guns. They're not a secret probably to anybody that knows anything about firearms and 22 caliber pistols, the little 22-45s. Now, if you're kind of new to firearms, there's nothing to be ashamed of. You might have other things you ought to be ashamed about, but not because you're new to firearms, okay? And you might be wondering why it's called the Ruger Mark IV 22-45, 22/45. And if you look at that frame and that grip, it might come to you, but probably not if you don't know what that means. But anyway, it's just kind of simulates the 45 classic government model, military gun, the 45 ACP government model, 1911, call them lots of different names, right? So you got really the same feel. And I think in an earlier video with a Mark IV, I did some little hilarious trick where I had the slide covered up and, ask you what kind of 1911 I had, because it's a 1911 kind of a grip style. So that's why it's called the 22-45. And this is the light version. The last one we did was, I think, the tactical. Now, this one could be tactical, but I think that's more the person who is tactical or not tactical, right? When you get right down to it, kind of like gun violence, gun kindness, it's the person who is violent or kind, not the firearm. But anyway, the tactical version had like rails under here and on top, and this one had rails on top. I took them off because I just like it like that. Unless I'm going to put an optic on it, I'll just leave it like that. And I'm not likely to put an optic on it. You know me? I like it the way it is. It's grown on me. I bought this, okay? And I wasn't sure, but I wanted a suppressor host. I didn't own a Mark IV, and I should. Every good American, at least, ought to own a Mark IV Ruger. They're just beautiful little firearms, and they break down so much easier than the earlier models did. So, yeah, I just bought this one. I didn't get support of the channel. And I just kind of like it. The way I'll link to the first video we did on a Mark IV. I think we did a hunter, and then we did the tactical model. And this is, again, the light model. So I've probably yacked enough about the history of these guns. They go way back, to 1949 or 50, when Bill Ruger, he looked at the Nambu pistol and came up with the idea, and he got Sturm, his partner, became his partner to kind of invest in it, and they started building these things, and they have been rather successful. Now, I don't think they have, you tell me, I don't think they've made 500 million of them. If you look at that serial number, see if I'm looking at that right, that's 500 million. But I know they made many millions of them, but I don't think it'd be 500. But anyway, that's a serial number. They may have started over at some point. I don't know how they do, or they just randomly picked that number, or maybe and I should probably know this. I should probably know a lot of things I don't know. but you know, maybe like the 50 is some kind of code, and then the rest of it's actual, you know, a serial number in terms of the sequence of the numbers of them that they made or something. I don't know. I'll let some of y'all tell me if you know. So maybe they have made 500 million. That'd be pretty impressive, wouldn't it? So yeah, the claim to fame on these, again, you make sure they're empty and cocked. You got to cock it, put the safety on. Now they're really complicated to take apart. Yeah, and then really complicated to get the bolt out to clean it. There you go. You know, it's just amazing the difference. And once they redesigned that, you know, you got your tube there, and it's kind of the claim to fame. You know, your tubular bolt, and it fits right through there, and the barrel is actually a part of that piece. And that's an aluminum, kind of an aircraft grade aluminum. So, and really the only reason I got this model was because I like that barrel, that gold barrel, and that gold trigger. So cool, right? And they're also difficult to put back together. There you go. So if you're looking for something easy to clean, easy to take apart, this be it, no doubt about it. But yeah, look at that gold barrel in there, solid gold. Wow. Actually, for those of you who know metallurgy, that would be too soft if it were gold. It is actually cold hammer forged. It really is, you know, for a 22. So anything other useless information you want to know. So, you know, it's 2245, the Ruger Mark IV, just a great gun. And I kind of like the design of it. I don't know, it's kind of neat. So we're definitely unloaded. Well, let's shoot a couple shots, shoot a couple more. Then I'll start trying to quiet it down a little bit. Yeah, I might shoot the paper first. I could smoke pot. Yeah, I could shoot some drinks. Oop, nah, sorry, buddy. Yeah, you didn't survive. Thought you did, didn't you? Let's be dramatic, I tell you. Pretty neat, pretty neat. Neat little guns. I don't shoot enough 22. Maybe this will help remedy that situation. This one, and of course I got the Model 41 Smith I really like. You know, revolver or two I really like. So I need to shoot more 22. Why don't we quiet this, go ahead and just quiet this thing down a little bit. You know, just make it hearing safe. Make it a little more convenient to shoot the 22. Because you really, now there are people who think you shouldn't have to wear, or you don't wear ear protection shooting a 22. And that's just not true, is it? Especially a handgun. And but when you put this on there, it does it makes it hearing safe. Again, with that model, yeah, the Banish 22K V2. So it doesn't quiet it down a lot, just enough to so you don't really need ear protection. Now you can wear it if you want to, but just makes it more convenient. All right, let's try it. I'll leave my ears off and I'll shoot over there at something. I have to figure out my sights. Okay, I was holding too high, yeah. Boom. Yeah, so you can hear it, and I don't know how it comes through on the camera microphone. It's hard to judge a suppressor by that, isn't it? But yeah, it's fine. It doesn't hurt your ears. So that's what that's all about. Let's try it again. Now I do have some. This is really slow ammo. I'll show you how slow it is. This is some CCI, and it is like, it's called Quiet 22, 710 feet per second. All right, that is very slow. I think this other is like 900s I've been firing. Federal, it's yeah, 970. So there's a big difference. Now, so well, why not just always fire this stuff if it's quieter? Well, I'll show you why. Oh, it didn't get the bolt back. Yeah, see, that's why. It's a little quieter, not much. Yeah, it is. So it kind of turns into a single shot. So it's very, very slow. And that's just because it's a semi-automatic. Now, if you're firing that ammo in a, guess what, a bolt action rifle, it wouldn't matter, would it? Something like that. So anyway, just thought I'd show you that. Pretty neat. So anyway, it gives you the option if you just want to go out and shoot. You don't want to worry about earplugs, and you don't want to hurt your ears. A little noise doesn't bother you. A lot of noise does, but a little bit doesn't. It's a little handy. Woo! Oh boy, I'm glad that's not spoiling it. I could have been soaked. I could have had a shower, free shower. Is that the 2-liter making that noise? There we go. So yeah, so that's what you get. So we got a little bit of a suppressor lesson, I guess. One reason I bought this. I guess I might need to load a mag. Well, here's this stuff. I got a little bit left in that mag. Now remember, it's not going to work the bolt unless the laws of physics have changed since I fired that first shot. See, that was a little more quiet when you get a little more suppression. Let's hit a 2-liter with this. Quietly hit a 2-liter. You can hear it smack into it. That's neat. Oh, forgot. Sorry. Memory problems. Woo! Cool. Go back over the gun. Okay, cowboy, you need a quiet. Oh, it's empty. At least it doesn't lock up the bolt. You know, it's not powerful enough to work the bolt, I guess, at all. So it doesn't cause you to have a jam up. You know what I mean? Like next round doesn't get up the ramp, or it gets too jammed together or something like that. So that's not a problem. I don't mind a single shot. It's pretty easy to cock, right? So anyway, that's pretty neat. Yeah, man, hard to beat. Well, speaking of ammo, we appreciate Wideners.com. Check out the description and get the discount there for ammo sponsor. Wideners.com. They're actually based in Tennessee, so we especially enjoy getting help from Wideners over in the eastern part of the state. There we go. 22s are fun. Now I bought some extra mags. You can see. You know how I am. I'd like to have several magazines for whatever it is I'm enjoying. There's a 9mm or whatever. Particularly if it's a firearm that I own, I am going to have some mags. So when I go out to shoot, I'm not spending all my time loading magazines. Well, that's not exactly true, is it? If you shoot 100 rounds or 200 rounds, does it really matter how many magazines you have in terms of how many time? You're going to spend the same amount of time loading mags, right? Yeah, I just figured that out. It's just that you can load them ahead of time, and then you just enjoy your shooting. Kind of like me with Glocks. If I have a Glock 9mm out here, I should almost never need to reload a magazine in the video, right? Okay. So we'll shoot a little more here. Play some fun. These things sell for around $600 or $700, depending on where you're buying it and whether you can get a steal on it or not. If you're not that familiar with these things, they're just widely popular. Obviously, the millions made, and for a long time, all the various generations of them, I guess up until the Mark IV, they were difficult to take down. That was the big hit on them. And it's the reason I've told this story before. I had the Hunter. I love the Mark IV, or I guess mine was a Mark III then, right? The Hunter. A big stainless steel fluted barrel. It's a gorgeous gun. I miss that gun. Well, not that one, but I think we did a Mark IV just like it in a video in the last couple of years. And just a gorgeous firearm. If I bought another 22 semi-automatic pistol, I think it would be that one. I like that almost as much as my Model 41 Smith. Cool. But these things have been, I mean, you saw me take it apart. It's just amazing the difference. Because I actually traded that one, to tell the story again, that Hunter that I owned. I traded it off because once I tried to take it down and put it back together, I thought that life should be easier than that. It shouldn't be that complicated. And a lot of other people have had the same thoughts. Okay, this won't be quite as quiet as those single shot rounds, but pretty quiet. Let's go over there so you can hear it. Yeah. pretty nice. That's a Banish 22. Boy, barely. I would knock that buffalo over if I could see it better. Actually, I can see it well enough to hit it. Yeah. Well, what's the matter? 22 long rifle won't knock it over? Let's just try that hanging one then. Yeah. 22 is fun. Quiet 22 is fun too. Anything else I hadn't told you about this thing? Again, it's aircraft grade aluminum. You know, it's made, and you know, it's made to be light. And I think a lot of people that buy these, you know, they're so suppressor ready, they're probably going to put a suppressor on it. So it's nice that it's light to begin with, and you know, you just got the small cap, and of course, I guess a lot of suppressors are light. I know the Banish line from Silencer Central are titanium, so they're very light, and so you don't really, even though that's long, I've said this before, I guess, in a video, if you're new to firearms, you're not familiar with suppressors at all, when you see someone with a gun like that big old thing hanging off the end, because all of us have grabbed some big long barreled, you know, handgun probably, that you know, it felt really front heavy and all that, and this looks like it would be, but it really doesn't. Bounces just fine. It's just the matter of the length. Now that doesn't mean you can stick it in your pocket because you got the length, but it is light. Okay, yeah, Ruger Mark IV. Gosh, I'd like to have a nickel for every one of these they've sold. Yeah. Oh, how about that ammo can? Oh boy, what else? No more 2 liters. Oh, that's what was playing the music. Okay, I guess. I don't know. I think the range is haunted because it's October as we film this. Even if you're not seeing it till February of 2028, because you're just sort of slow to get around to our videos. Let's try that red plate over on the right. He gets ignored a lot. All right, let me bring it down. There we go. Finally. You, Mr. Gong, before we run out of ammo. You need another hit. All right, how many rounds do we have left? How about a bowling pin? Yeah, a couple of bowling pin hits. So that's pretty cool. I like this gun. I'm glad I bought it. I have no regrets, even though maybe it looks a little too space age for an old man, do you think? It's pretty cool. Because I did mainly get it so I could enjoy suppressor, but not exclusively. I guess someone makes a holster for that thing. I could pack that around the ranch here and enjoy that. Yeah, really could. So, and it's got a polymer frame, if you didn't know that, and aluminum, and so it's going to be light. I guess the bolt and the barrel, really, essentially, you know, mostly the steel, you know, the small parts. So it's a very light firearm, and it can be a very quiet firearm, right? Particularly with the Banish on there, 22, or even the other one. So that's an interesting concept. You know, again, I don't know what y'all think about that. Would you know, I don't know. I can see a place for both of them. It's fun to shoot something that's really, really quiet. But then again, it's also really nice, and you all know that from, I guess, firearms that well, there's not many that you shoot that you really shouldn't have ear protection on. But it is nice if there's something that just doesn't make it, like a BB gun or something, or a pellet gun, that you can just shoot, and while it makes a little noise, you don't have to think about ear protection. It's kind of nice. So anyway, the Ruger Mark IV 2245 Lite, that's what it's called, and I'm just happy. I mean, I'm delighted to bring it to you. I really am. So appreciate y'all coming by, and hope you come by again next time I'm here. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. Just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com. And also, while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter, The Real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.